Commander Alex Chen stood straight as the strange blue lights of the scanner moved over his body. The massive space station called the Nexus hummed around him. This was not where Earth's first diplomatic mission was supposed to be. Their small ship had been pulled off course by a powerful signal 3 days ago. "Human, follow me," said a tall, insect-like alien with 4 arms. Its voice translator made the words sound flat and cold. Alex nodded to his 3 teammates. "Stay calm. I'll handle this." The alien guard led Alex through wide hallways where creatures of all shapes and sizes moved quickly out of their way. Many stopped to stare at the human with what looked like pity in their strange eyes. "What is this place?" Alex asked. "The center of the Void Empire. The heart of Queen Selnaga's power," the guard answered. "She has requested your presence. Few leave her throne room alive." Alex heard the fear in the guard's voice. Everywhere he looked, aliens whispered and trembled at the mention of the Queen's name. A group of tall, blue-skinned diplomats pressed themselves against a wall to avoid blocking their path. After passing through 7 security checkpoints, they entered a massive circular chamber. The ceiling stretched up so high that Alex couldn't see the top. Strange black crystals floated in the air, giving off a purple glow. "The human approaches," announced a voice. At the center of the room, sitting on a throne made of what looked like twisted metal and bone, was Queen Selnaga. She was much larger than the other aliens Alex had seen. Her body was covered in black armor-like plates that shimmered with dark rainbow colors. 6 limbs folded elegantly around her body. Her head featured a crown-like crest and 4 eyes that seemed to contain swirling galaxies. The aliens in the throne room kept their heads down, bodies showing signs of fear, trembling limbs, folded wings, tucked tails. "So this is a human," said the Queen. Her voice was surprisingly smooth and clear. "The newest species to join our galactic community." Alex bowed respectfully. "Commander Alex Chen of Earth, it's an honor to meet you, Your Majesty." The Queen tilted her massive head. She extended one sharp clawed hand, stopping just inches from Alex's face. The guard behind him made a whimpering sound. "Interesting," said the Queen. "Your heartbeat is steady. Your eyes meet mine without wavering." She leaned forward on her throne. "Are you not aware of who I am? What I could do to your planet with a single command?" "I am aware you are Queen Selnaga of the Void Empire," Alex replied calmly. "As for what you could do, I believe that's why we're having this conversation." A strange sound filled the room. It took Alex a moment to realize the Queen was laughing. "Everyone fears me," she said, her galaxy eyes fixed on Alex. "So, why don't you, human?" Alex smiled slightly. "We haven't yet learned what there is to fear, Your Majesty." The Queen's inner eyelids blinked slowly. "Then perhaps I shall teach you," she said, but her voice carried something new, not threat, but curiosity. "Take the human to the guest quarters," Queen Selnaga ordered, waving one clawed hand. "Not the cells, the royal guest chambers." The aliens around the throne room looked at each other in shock. The insect-like guard's antennae twitched nervously. "Your Majesty," a tall advisor with pale skin whispered, "those rooms are for honored visitors. The human is." "Are you questioning me, Vexlor?" The Queen's voice became dangerously soft. The advisor dropped to the floor immediately. "Never, my Queen. Forgive me." Alex watched as the Queen's eyes narrowed. She seemed to enjoy the fear she caused. "Human, you and your crew will stay as my guests. Tomorrow, you will attend me personally." Alex was led to luxurious rooms where his team waited nervously. The walls were made of a strange metal that changed colors slowly. The beds were too large for humans, but very comfortable. "They're not going to let us leave, are they?" asked Dr. Patel, the team's scientist. "I don't think so," Alex replied honestly. "But they haven't hurt us yet. That's something." "The Queen seemed interested in you," said Lieutenant Rivera, looking worried. "That could be good or bad." Alex nodded. "We'll find out tomorrow." The next morning, Alex was taken to the Queen's private chambers. The room was massive, with strange black plants growing from the ceiling and walls. The Queen sat on a smaller throne, studying data on floating screens. "Come closer, human," she commanded. As Alex approached, he noticed the floating screens showed images of Earth. "Your planet interests me," said the Queen. "So much water. So fragile. I could take it with a single battle fleet. May I ask why you haven't?" Alex asked calmly. The Queen laughed. "Direct, aren't you? I was going to. But now I'm curious about you humans. Especially you." She stood up, towering over Alex. Her 6 limbs unfolded to their full length, making her nearly 12 feet tall. "Today, you will watch how I rule," she said. "Perhaps then you will learn fear." The day was designed to terrify. Alex stood beside the Queen's throne as she held court. He watched as she ordered executions for minor mistakes. 3 different aliens were put to death for failing their missions. Another was banished to the toxic moons for speaking out of turn. Alex kept his face calm, though inside he felt sick. The Queen washed him carefully after each judgment. Later, they moved to the war room. The Queen showed Alex holograms of planets her forces had conquered. Billions had died in her campaigns. "Do you understand now, human?" she asked. "I control the lives of trillions. I destroy worlds that displease me." "I understand you have great power," Alex said carefully, "and responsibilities to match." The Queen hissed in frustration. "You still show no fear. Is your species broken?" As they left the war room, a crowd of courtiers parted for them. Alex noticed one alien reaching inside its robes. A flash of metal caught his eye. "Your Majesty, look out," Alex shouted, pushing the Queen aside. A poison dart flew past, missing them both. Guards immediately seized the assassin. The Queen looked at Alex with genuine surprise. Then her eyes narrowed dangerously. "You could have been free of me," she said quietly. "Why save your captor?" Alex met her galaxy eyes steadily. "Because that's what humans do." "A reward," said Queen Naga the next day, "for saving my life." Alex stood before her in a new chamber he hadn't seen before. The walls were lined with glowing crystals that pulsed with light. "I will grant you access to the Imperial Archives," the Queen continued. "No outsider has ever been allowed this privilege." The guard beside Alex made a choking sound of surprise. "Thank you, Your Majesty," Alex said with a small bow. "May I ask why?" The Queen's 4 eyes studied him. "You wish to understand. So understand." A door opened in the wall, revealing a room filled with floating orbs of light. Each orb contained moving images. "The complete history of the Void Empire," the Queen explained. "And my people. You have 3 days. Use them wisely." Alex entered the archives alone. He touched the first orb, and suddenly images filled his mind. He saw a beautiful world with tall purple trees and oceans that glowed at night. Small creatures with shimmering black shells. The Queen's species built cities of crystal and lived peacefully. Then came the invasion. Powerful alien ships darkened the skies. Cities burned. The peaceful people were hunted like animals. Alex moved from orb to orb, learning the painful history. The Queen's people, the Void Dwellers, had been nearly wiped out by a coalition of technologically advanced species. Only a small group survived by hiding in deep caves. Among the survivors was a young royal named Naga. The Orcs showed her growth from a frightened child to a determined leader. She discovered ancient technology in the caves. She united the survivors. She built weapons. The next orbs showed her counterattack. It was ruthless but effective. Planet by planet, the young queen reclaimed territory. She used fear as her greatest weapon. Enemies who surrendered lived. Those who resisted were destroyed completely. For 3 days, Alex barely slept. He learned how the Queen had transformed her nearly extinct species into the most powerful empire in the galaxy. He saw the hard choices she had made. He witnessed the weight of her crown. On the third day, he found the most important orb. It showed the queen meeting with the leaders of the coalition that had nearly destroyed her people. "Submit or perish," the young queen had told them. "If we submit, what guarantee do we have that you won't destroy us anyway?" asked one alien leader. "None," replied the queen. "But I guarantee destruction if you don't. Fear will keep you loyal." And it had worked. For centuries, fear had maintained the empire. Fear had prevented new wars. Fear had brought stability to a chaotic galaxy. When Alex emerged from the archives, the queen waited. "Now that you know what I am," she said quietly, "do you fear me yet, human?" Alex looked at her with new eyes. He saw not just the terrifying ruler, but also the child who had watched her world burn. "I understand you better now," he replied. "I respect the burden you carry, but no, I don't fear you." The queen's inner eyelids narrowed. "Then you haven't truly understood." "I understood everything," Alex said. "I saw what happened to your people. I saw what you had to become to save them. And I think there might have been another way." The queen's expression darkened. "There wasn't." "Perhaps," Alex said gently. "But humans have a saying. Those who rule by the sword must watch their backs for knives." "The Summit of Seven begins in 10 cycles," Queen Excel Nega announced to her royal court. Hundreds of aliens from different species bowed low before her throne. "I will attend personally." Alex stood to the side with his team, watching the proceedings. For 2 weeks, they had been kept in luxurious rooms but were still prisoners. The queen's eyes found Alex in the crowd. "Commander Chen will accompany me as my official advisor." A shocked silence fell over the court. Then angry whispers spread quickly. The queen's existing advisors, tall, pale creatures with 6 eyes, looked at Alex with pure hatred. "Your Majesty," said Chief Advisor Vexlor, his voice strained, "this human knows nothing of galactic politics. He is an outsider." "Ah, are you questioning my decision?" the queen asked softly. Vexlor bowed deeply. "Never, my queen. I live to serve." Later, in their quarters, Alex's team gathered around him worriedly. "This is bad," said Security Officer Tanaka. "Those advisors looked ready to kill you." "They probably are," Alex agreed. "The queen is testing me again." Dr. Patel shook her head. "Why you? Why is she so interested in humans?" "Because we don't fear her," Alex said simply. "And that makes her curious." The next day, Alex found a beautiful crystal fruit in his room. As he reached for it, he noticed a tiny movement on its surface, poison insects that would have killed him instantly. 2 days later, a servant accidentally led him toward an airlock that would have opened into space. Alex's quick thinking saved his life. Each day brought new dangers. The royal advisors worked together to eliminate this human upstart. But Alex survived using skills that seemed to surprise the aliens. He could read facial expressions across species, notice patterns others missed, and think in ways the queen's people couldn't predict. "Your species notices strange things," the queen commented after Alex uncovered a particularly clever trap. "You saw danger in the servant's walk." "How?" "Humans evolved watching for small signs of danger," Alex explained. "We survived by noticing what doesn't fit." The queen studied him. "The other advisors hate you." "Yes. They tried to kill me 7 times this week." To his surprise, the queen laughed. "Only 7. They must be losing their touch." As the Summit of Seven approached, Alex was summoned to the queen's private chambers. She was examining star maps that floated in the air. "The leaders of the 7 most powerful empires will be there," she explained. "Old enemies forced to cooperate. They all hate me, but fear keeps them in line." "What is the purpose of this summit?" Alex asked. "Resources, territory, power." The queen's eyes focused on him. "You will sit at my right hand and speak when I command it." "May I ask why you chose me? Your other advisors have centuries of experience." The queen's head tilted. Because you see things differently. You survived where others would have broken. Her voice lowered. Perhaps there is something to your species after all. That night, Alex found a message hidden in his room. The Queen has signed her death warrant by trusting a human. At the summit, she falls. Alex looked at the message for a long time. Then he did something that would have shocked the other advisors. He went directly to tell the Queen about the threat. 3 days before the Summit of Seven, something strange happened. The Queen missed her morning court session. Whispers spread quickly through the Nexus station. Alex was called to the Queen's private chambers by a nervous servant. Inside, he found royal doctors hovering around the Queen's bed. She looked different. Her normally shimmering black shell was dull, and her 4 eyes had lost their galaxy-like glow. "Leave us," she commanded weakly. The doctors bowed and backed away. "You're ill," Alex said, approaching her bed. "Nothing escaped you, human," the Queen replied, her voice missing its usual power. "The doctors don't know what's wrong. They say I'm just tired." Alex looked at the empty cups on the table beside her. "How long have you felt sick?" "It started after the announcement of the summit. A small weakness at first. Now I can barely stand." Alex picked up one of the cups and smelled it. "Who brings your drinks?" "Different servants. They all taste the food and drink first, as is custom." The Queen tried to sit up but fell back. "If this is poison, it's unlike any we know." Alex thought quickly. If someone wanted to poison you, they would need something your tasters wouldn't detect. Something your doctors can't identify. "Impossible. We have knowledge of all poisons in the galaxy. All known poisons from known species," Alex corrected. "But humans are new to your galaxy. Maybe our poisons are too." The Queen's inner eyelids blinked slowly. "You think someone is using Earth poison against me?" "It's possible. With your permission, I'd like to examine your food and drinks. Human biochemistry might help me see something your doctors missed." For the next 2 days, Alex worked with Dr. Pottle to test everything the Queen consumed. They converted some of their Earth equipment to analyze the samples. "There it is," Dr. Patil finally said, pointing to her scanner. "Digitalis. It's from a plant on Earth called foxglove. Slow-acting, hard to detect if you don't know what you're looking for." "Can we make an antidote?" Alex asked. "Yes, but we'll need specific ingredients." Alex took their findings to the Queen, whose condition had worsened. Her royal chambers were quiet now, with only her most trusted guards allowed entry. "Someone in your inner circle is working with humans," Alex explained. "They're using an Earth poison that's undetectable to your systems." "How convenient that you discovered this," the Queen whispered, her breathing labored. "I know how it looks. But if I wanted you dead, I wouldn't be here telling you about the poison." The Queen was silent for a long moment. "Can you cure it?" "Yes. Dr. Patil knows how to make the antidote, but we need ingredients." "Whatever you need. Take it." The Queen's claw weakly pointed to her seal ring. "This gives you full authority." As Alex worked with Dr. Patil to create the antidote, the Queen drifted in and out of consciousness. During these moments, Alex heard her speak of things she never would have shared. Her fears for her people, regrets about choices made, the loneliness of ruling through fear. When the antidote was ready, Alex administered it himself. As the Queen slowly regained her strength, she looked at him with confusion. "Why do you still help me?" she asked weakly. "I've given you nothing but threats and trials." "Because that's what humans do," Alex responded. "We see potential where others see only what is." The Queen's eyes studied him intently. "You humans are strange creatures indeed." As the Queen slowly recovered, Alex worked to find the poisoner. Using the Queen's seal, he accessed security recordings from throughout the palace. Look for anyone who had access to both Earth materials and the Queen's food, Alex told Lieutenant Rivera, who was helping him. They worked through the night, watching hundreds of recordings. Finally, they found something strange. There, Rivera pointed to a screen. "That servant meets with Advisor Vexilord in secret. then goes directly to the Queen's kitchen. They tracked the servant's movements backwards through more recordings. The trail led to a hidden room where the servant met with not just Vexilor, but 3 other royal advisors as well. "We need to see what's in that room," Alex said. Using the Queen's authority, they accessed the hidden chamber while its usual occupants attended court. Inside, they found star maps with military positions marked, communications equipment tuned to frequencies outside the Empire, and most damning of all, a small box with the Earth symbol containing more digitalist poison. "It's bigger than just Vexilor," Rivero whispered. "This looks like a coordinated attack from multiple species." Alex examined a data pad they found. According to this, the same coalition that nearly destroyed the Queen's species generations ago has reformed in secret. They'd been planning this for years. They brought their evidence to the Queen, who had regained enough strength to sit on her throne. Her eyes blazed with anger as she viewed the recordings. "Traitors," she hissed. "They will die screaming." "Your Majesty," Alex said carefully, "executing them might not be the best approach." The Queen's head snapped toward him. "You dare suggest mercy for those who try to kill me?" "Not mercy. Strategy." Alex pointed to the data showing the coalition's plans. "This conspiracy is much larger than just your advisors. If you execute them, you alert the rest of the plotters but learn nothing more." The Queen's inner eyelids narrowed. "What do you suggest instead?" "Keep them close. Feed them false information. Watch who they contact. Find the entire network before you strike." The Queen was silent for a long moment. "This is not how I usually handle betrayal." "I know," Alex said. "Fear has been your weapon. But sometimes patience reveals more than fear can extract." To Alex's surprise, the Queen nodded slowly. "Very well, human. We will try your way. For now." Over the next 2 days, they monitored the conspirators closely. The traitors sent messages to contacts on 12 different worlds, revealing a vast network of plotters planning to assassinate the Queen of the Summit and replace her with a puppet ruler. They planned to attack during the ceremonial procession. Alex explained as they reviewed the intelligence. "When your guard will be focused on appearance rather than protection." The Queen studied the human with new interest. "You feel no fear at the thought of such danger, yet you're not a warrior species. How is this possible?" "We do feel fear," Alex explained. "But humans evolved to act despite fear. We can be afraid and still function." "A useful trait," the Queen admitted. "Most species are paralyzed by true fear." "It helped us survive on a planet full of predators," Alex said. "Being afraid but acting anyway is one of humanity's oldest skills." The Queen's eyes showed a new respect. "Perhaps there is more to learn from your kind than I first thought." With only 1 day left before the Summit of Seven, Queen Naga called a secret meeting. Only Alex, his team, and the Queen's most loyal commander, a battle-scarred warrior named Kraz, were present. "The conspiracy is too widespread to eliminate every traitor," the Queen said, her voice strong again. "We must crush them with overwhelming force to make an example." Kraz nodded in agreement. "My troops are ready, Your Majesty. We can arrest all suspects and execute them publicly at the summit." Alex shook his head. "That won't work. The conspiracy has roots in all 7 empires. If you arrest your advisors, the others will simply hide and try again later." "What do you suggest then, human?" the Queen asked. "Don't try to cut off all the heads of the snake," Alex explained. "Make the snake eat itself instead." Alex outlined a plan unlike anything the Queen had considered before. Instead of using direct force, they would plant false information with each conspirator. Different information for each one. "The alien species in this coalition don't fully trust each other," Alex explained. "Each one wants power for themselves. We can use that." The Queen listened as Alex described how to create mistrust between the conspirators. "This is not how wars are fought in our galaxy," she said finally. "Humans have fought this way for centuries," Alex replied. When you can't overpower your enemy, you outsmart them. After careful consideration, the Queen approved the plan. If this fails, Commander Chen, I will return to my methods, starting with you. I understand, Your Majesty. For the next 24 hours, they worked tirelessly. Alex and Lieutenant Rivera created false messages and planted them where specific conspirators would find them. Dr. Patil analyzed the psychology of each alien species involved, helping tailor messages to trigger their specific fears and suspicions. They fed Vexilor information suggesting the Drakari conspirators planned to betray him after the Queen's assassination. They let the Drakari ambassador discover proof that the Merlonian rebels were keeping Earth technology for themselves. Each message was designed to turn the plotters against each other. By morning, the plan was working. Secret communications between conspirators became heated. Accusations flew back and forth. 2 minor plotters were found dead, killed by their own allies. Your species fights strangely, the Queen observed as they monitored the growing chaos among the conspiracy. You use deception and misdirection, where we would use terror and might. We've always had to outsmart those stronger than us, Alex explained. It's a different kind of strength. The Queen's galaxy eyes studied him thoughtfully. Perhaps there is wisdom in this approach. Less blood is spilled. As the time for the summit approached, the conspiracy began to fall apart completely. The coalition that had held together for years broke down in just hours. Some plotters fled. Others turned on their allies. A few even came to the Queen to confess, hoping for mercy. They're doing exactly what you predicted, the Queen said with genuine admiration. How did you know they would react this way? Human history is full of conspiracies that failed because of mistrust, Alex said. When people plot in darkness, they're already prepared to believe the worst about each other. For the first time, the Queen's fearsome face showed something new: respect. The Summit of Seven concluded successfully. Thanks to Alex's strategy, the conspiracy collapsed before it could strike. Queen Xel Naga emerged stronger than ever, with the other rulers reaffirming their loyalty, partly from respect, partly from renewed fear. 2 weeks later, the Queen made a surprising announcement to her court. I will visit the human homeworld, she declared. Gasps echoed through the throne room. Commander Chen will accompany me, along with a small royal guard. Chief Advisor Vexilor, who had been kept in his position despite his treachery, though now closely watched, stepped forward nervously. Your Majesty, you haven't left the Empire's core in 3 centuries. The risk is. The decision is made, the Queen said firmly. Her 4 eyes focused on Alex. Prepare your team. We leave tomorrow. Aboard the Queen's massive royal ship, Alex sat with his team in their private quarters. This is unprecedented, Dr. Patil said excitedly. No major galactic ruler has ever visited Earth. Why is she doing this? Lieutenant Rivera wondered. Is it a prelude to invasion? Alex shook his head. I don't think so. I think she's curious. Humans confuse her, and she hates being confused. The journey to Earth took 5 days at faster-than-light speed. When they arrived, the sight of the Queen's enormous black ship caused panic until Alex's team sent messages explaining the peaceful nature of the visit. World leaders hastily prepared a welcome ceremony in Geneva. As the Queen's shuttle landed, thousands watched nervously. The Queen emerged, her towering form causing many to step back in fear. Alex walked beside her, serving as translator and guide. Welcome to Earth, Your Majesty. The Queen observed everything with intense interest. The blue sky, the green plants, the crowds of humans who stared at her with more curiosity than fear. Your species shows remarkable variety, she noted. Different colors, sizes, shapes, yet you're all the same species. Diversity is our strength, Alex explained. Different perspectives help us solve problems. During the following days, the Queen met with Earth's leaders, visited major cities, and observed human culture. She seemed particularly intrigued by ordinary interactions. Parents with children, friends laughing together, strangers helping each other. Your kind cooperates without fear, she said to Alex as they watched a busy city street. How do you maintain order without it? Trust, Alex replied. Most humans believe others will do the right thing most of the time. A dangerous assumption. Sometimes, but it allows us to build connections that fear can't create. On the third day, during a tense meeting with Earth's Defense Council, alarms suddenly blared. A terrorist group opposed to alien contact had planted explosives in the building. As people rushed to evacuate, a young child became separated from her parents in the chaos. She fell directly in the Queen's path. Without hesitation, the Queen used her armored body to shield the child as debris fell around them. Later, when safety was restored, the Queen seemed troubled by her own actions. You protected that child, Alex said. Why? I don't know, the Queen answered honestly. I moved without thinking. That's called compassion. The Queen's eyes narrowed. You're changing me, she accused Alex. This isn't who I am. Maybe it's who you could be, Alex suggested quietly. The Queen's visit to Earth was cut short when an urgent message arrived from the Nexus. Her personal communicator flashed with a priority signal that made her galaxy eyes widen. We must return immediately, she told Alex. Something has happened. Within hours, they were aboard the royal ship, speeding back toward the center of the Void Empire. The Queen remained in her private chamber, reviewing data that seemed to trouble her deeply. Finally, she called Alex to her room. Floating screens showed images of destruction. Planets with massive craters, shattered space stations, and fleets of ships reduced to debris. What am I looking at? Alex asked. The end of everything if we don't stop it, the Queen replied grimly. An ancient weapon system has awakened at the edge of known space. The screens showed strange machines, silver spheres the size of small moons, surrounded by swarms of smaller crafts that cut through everything in their path. These weapons were created by a species that vanished 20,000 years ago, the Queen explained. They were designed to eliminate centralized authority. Empires like mine. Why have they activated now? Unknown, but they're methodically destroying worlds, starting with those that show strong governmental control patterns. The Queen's voice became quiet. The Nexus will be their ultimate target. When they arrived at the Nexus, they found the entire station in chaos. Representatives from across the galaxy were fighting to board escape ships. Military vessels from all 7 major empires scrambled in disorganized patterns. In the Emergency Council chamber, the rulers of the other empires argued bitterly. We must combine our fleets, shouted the Dracari Emperor. And let you command them. Never, responded the Merlonian Queen. Each empire should defend its own territory, insisted the Vorten Hive Lord. Queen Excelnega entered, with Alex following. The room fell silent. While you argue, the ancient weapons draw closer, she said coldly. They have destroyed 7 major worlds already. What do you propose, Xelnaga? Asked the Dracari Emperor cautiously. The Queen looked at the assembled rulers. I offer Earth's protection in exchange for their allegiance to the Void Empire. Commander Chen will speak for them. All eyes turned to Alex. This was the moment he had waited for, a chance to secure Earth's safety. But something didn't feel right. With respect, Your Majesty, Alex said carefully, Earth proposes a third option. The Queen's inner eyelids narrowed. Explain. Not submission, but true alliance. Earth will contribute our strategic thinking and problem-solving abilities. Humans can help coordinate your combined forces in ways you haven't considered. Ridiculous. The Vorten Hive Lord buzzed. What can primitives offer against such a threat? A different perspective, Alex replied. These weapons target patterns of authority. Your empires all follow similar power structures, centralized, hierarchical, based on dominance. Humans have experimented with many different systems. The Queen was silent for a long moment, remembering how Alex's unorthodox strategy had saved her from the conspiracy. The human has earned the right to be heard, she finally said, surprising everyone. I have seen their methods work when our traditional approaches failed. As the council reluctantly listened to Alex's ideas, emergency alerts flashed. 3 more worlds had fallen to the ancient weapons. "We have little time," the queen said. "Perhaps there are limits to ruling through fear after all." Hours turned into days as the ancient weapons continued their path of destruction. Earth sent its best scientists and military strategists to the Nexus. They worked alongside experts from all 7 empires, studying the weapons' patterns. "They target power," Dr. Paddle explained to the gathered rulers. "Their sensors detect energy signatures that match government centers, command ships, and authority figures. Then we hide our leaders," suggested the Drakari Emperor. "It won't work," Alex said. "These weapons are too advanced. They'll find any traditional power structure." The queen, who had been silent, suddenly stood. "What if we remove the power structure entirely? Not hide it, but truly change it." All eyes turned to her in shock. The queen of the Void Empire, who had ruled through fear for centuries, was suggesting abandoning the very foundation of her power. "What do you mean, Your Majesty?" Alex asked. "These weapons target patterns they recognize," she said. "What if we create a pattern they don't recognize? Not centralized authority, but something human." For the next day, they developed a radical plan. The massive imperial fleets would be split into smaller independent groups. Command would rotate between captains. Traditional symbols of authority would be removed from all ships. "It's not enough," the queen finally said. "The weapons will still detect my authority at the center of everything." She rose to her full height and turned to the communication system that broadcast throughout the galaxy. "People of the Void Empire and all allied worlds," she began. "For centuries, I have ruled through fear. That era ends today." Gasps echoed through the council chamber as the queen removed her crown. "To survive this threat, we must evolve beyond what we have been," she continued. "From this moment, authority in the Void Empire will no longer flow from fear, but from cooperation." The plan worked. When the ancient weapons approached the reorganized fleets, their targeting systems faltered. The machines, programmed to attack centralized power, could not identify the new fluid command structure. The combined forces, fighting as equals rather than servants of various rulers, drove back the ancient threat. Ships from all empires protected each other without hesitation. Ideas flowed freely between species that had feared each other for generations. 3 weeks later, the last of the ancient weapons had been destroyed. In the Great Hall of the Nexus, representatives from across the galaxy gathered not in fear, but in celebration. Alex found the queen standing alone by a viewport, looking at the stars. "You gave up your crown," he said softly. "I didn't need it anymore," she replied. "I ruled through fear because it was the only way I knew to protect what mattered. You humans showed me another path. You always had the potential to find it yourself." Alex said, "That's why I never feared you." The queen's galaxy eyes studied him thoughtfully. "Everyone feared me," she said, "except humans, and that exception has changed everything." Alex smiled. "That's what humans do best. We don't just adapt to the universe. We help the universe adapt too." "Your species will go far, Commander Chen," the queen said. "And I look forward to seeing it, not as your ruler, but as your ally." Outside the viewport, ships from Earth and the former Void Empire flew together, no longer divided by fear, but united by something stronger. The end.